Alright, welcome to part 3. Once again, I got cut off without knowing. I'll get the hang of this, or I'll find a program that, I can just do the whole video. Okay, so last thing we did was I showed you the difference between the dark layer and, what we started with. Alright, so now we're going to hide that layer, and we're going to go to the light layer mask, and make sure that, once again, that you click on the black square, so there's a white line around the black square on that layer. Alright, once again, you're still painting with white. On this one, I like to use a pretty big brush. Like, probably the size, or even a little bigger than what the object is that you're actually highlighting. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the cheeks a little bit. And obviously that is like way too shiny right there. So we're just going to smudge it out a little bit until we like it. And that's much better. You can see the difference. I mean, when you're doing it, sometimes you're like, well, I don't even see where I changed anything, but if you hide the layer, you can see the difference there. And I'm going to smudge out away from the lips. Then also, I'm going to use a smaller brush and go in here and do the nose. Oops. And the lips. I'm going to erase some of what I did, because my brush was a little too big for the lips areas. Once again, keeping in mind where your shadow is, where your light is. And like I said, in my other version, I did go ahead and put shadows for the lip rings and all that, just to, add an extra layer of realism. And smudge out the nose, unless you want her to have a really shiny nose. Alright, and then you can add some into the hair, but don't go too crazy, because then it'll look weird. So I just add some lines, and then I smudge it a lot. And I'm going to go back and re-hide right under the hat, because that would make sense. And if you see anything that you want dark, you can go ahead and unhide the dark layer and go back and fix that. If you see it like this, I want the underside of this hat to be dark. Alright. Re-hide that and go back to your white mask, or your light mask. Oops. And I'm going to brighten up here. Darn it. Okay, and parts like this can be agitating because, see right here, there's this faintly dark line, which makes it look like there's a bump in it. That just has to do with the fact that the creator created a shiny area here so that it would look more realistic in the game, which kind of messes us up because our light source is not in the same place as their light source was. So if you want to, whenever you start something and you're thinking about where to put your light source, you might want to take into consideration where the light sources of the objects that have light sources are. That way you're not working against it, because there's nothing really we can do right there for that. Okay. So there's that. I'm going to add some to the arm. The same way that I added muscle definition before, and if I want to double check so I make sure that they're in the same area, I would unhide my mask and of course select the right brush. And for the arms, I usually put dots, and then I like to drag them out. It's not really something that you need to be too precise with. And then also, I want to make the light look like it is pretty bright. So I'm going to put light on the edges of things over here. And I also wanted to add something to the chin. What I do for the face is usually I do the chin, I do the nose, I do the lips, and I do a little bit on the cheeks. Once again, that's the thing where you can change the whole, shape of the chin. And then I usually also do a little bit on the eyebrow. Usually it'd be pretty bright, but not on this one because there's this hat here. Okay, for the boobs, hold on, I'm gonna check YouTube. Okay, we're good. For the boobs, I usually use a brush that is the same size as the boob, which is not gonna really work for this picture because she is pretty much flat-chested, and it would look weird. Well, it will look weird. And then I'd find the center where the light would hit, the point that sticks out the most, and I would add a dot, and then of course I would smudge it towards the face. But see, that just makes it look like softer and rounder, but I don't want that for this one, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to smudge it way out. Or in fact, I'm just going to get rid of it completely. I did add some highlighting on my final product. And also you want to do accessories too, like this ring and like this armband. Oops. Smudge them out. And when you smudge out, you don't want to start from the center, you want to start from the edge where it's already mixed a little bit. That way there's more of a gradient. Alright, so if we zoom out, this is pretty crappy, but I mean the one that I did wasn't crappy. I'm just doing this quick. So here's what it looks like with our light layer on the medium. This is our flat picture. This is our flat picture plus lighting. And if you see anything you don't like right here, I really don't like these lips. I did the lips in the other one a lot better. You just have to kind of play with it. So for right now, I'm just gonna delete that so it doesn't make me mad. So weird. Anyways, oops.